What's going on, guys? The Anime Critic. I'm back to do my predictions for UFC 152. I'm not going to go too in depth into, I've already done a video about 151 being cancelled. I'd actually already done my 151 predictions and put them up. So in short, 151 got cancelled because Dan Henderson got injured. 8 days out, had to cancel the event, all that stuff. So now John Jones is fighting Vitor Belfort, who's coming up from 185 to fight at 205. Okay, we're going to start on the Facebook portion of the card. The first fight is Carl Noak versus Charlie Brenneman. Carl Noak from Ultimate Fighter and stuff. Not looking himself recently. Lost to Ed Herman via inverted heel hook, and last time out to Andrew Craig by unanimous decision. Sadly, I'm picking him to lose this against Charlie Brenneman. Charlie Brenneman's got very good wrestling. I just don't see where Carl Noak can win this fight. Next fight, Mitch Gagnon versus Whale Watson. Mitch Gagnon last time in the UFC lost at 149 to Brian Caraway by rear naked choke. Whale Watson's not a bad little fighter. Beat Joseph Sandoval, and he lost 2 decisions, one split to Yves Jabin and one to TJ Dillashaw. And they were pretty close decisions. I'm going to give it to Whale Watson. The next fight is a welterweight bout between Seth Basinski and Simon Thiessen. Thiessen is 17-2, a pretty good prospect. He's beaten guys such as John Maguire, who's in the UFC right now. Last time out, beat Bisam Youssef. That was on the Sweden card back this year. Seth Basinski, he's on a nice little run at the minute. He's on a 3-fight winning streak, beating Clay Haverson, Matt Brown and Lance Benoist. I'm probably going to have to give it to Basinski, to be honest. That is actually the last fight on the Facebook portion of the card. The next portion of the card is all on FX. The first fight is Jimmy Hettis versus Marcus Brimage. Jimmy Hettis, 10-0. Last time, last 2 fights, he beat Bruce Leroy and Nam Pham. And Marcus Brimage, who's also from Ultimate Fighter fame, last time out, beat Maximo Blanco and Stephen Bass. So, pretty decent win against Maximo Blanco. I'm probably going to pick Jimmy Hettis. I don't know why, I just feel he's going to win it. I don't know what it is. Next fight, Sean Pearson versus Lance Benoist. Pearson's kind of one of those on and off fighters. He beat Matt Riddle, beat Jake Hesh, lost to Ellenberger and Dong Yong Kim. Yeah, so kind of there. I'm probably gonna pick. God, do I pick Lance Benoist? It's a tough one, this one. I don't know why. I'm going to flip there you go. I'm going to pick... I've both beaten Matt Riddle. I'm going to pick Sean Pearson. There you go. Next fight, TJ Grant versus Evan Dunham. Evan Dunham should win this, no problem. The next fight is pretty interesting. You got a light heavyweight bout between Igor Popajak and the returning Vinny Magalhaes. I think most people will remember him from... He lost, actually, the Ultimate Fighter finale, Season 8. Then lost to Elliot Marshall, then got cut. Then went on, excuse me, to fight for M1. And done pretty good things. He won the Light Heavyweight Championship there. He's currently on a... he's on a 5-fight winning streak, winning 7 of his last 8. The loss there was actually a unanimous decision loss. He's got amazing submissions. The guy is a Abu Dhabi submission wrestling champ uh, in 2011 in Nottingham, and he also won 2 bronze medals in Barcelona in 2009. It's got very high level jiu-jitsu. I'm picking Vinny Magalhaes. I hope he does it for the 10 Planet Jiu-Jitsu clan. The next fight is the first fight on the main card of the evening, main portion of the card rather. You got Cub Swanson versus Charles Oliveira. Cub Swanson kind of was an up and down fighter, but he's coming off 2 big wins, one off George Roop and one off Sean Pearson, all by TKO, both in the second round. Charles Oliveira, last time out, he's on a 2-fight winning streak. A bit lesser competition, beat Eric Weasley and Jonathan Brookends. Before that, he lost to Donald Cerrone, Nick Lentz, Jim Miller. But he's beaten people like Darren Elkins, Efrain Escudero. Excuse me. I'm going to pick Cub Swanson. I think he's coming into his stride at the moment, so I'm going to go with Cub Swanson. The next fight is a light heavyweight bout between the returning from retirement Matt Hamill. Matt Hamill was a pretty decent fighter in the UFC. I mean, he beat some okay names. I mean, he beat Mark Munoz, beat Keith Jardine, Tim Bosch, Tito Ortiz. In my opinion, he actually beat Michael Bisping, but lost a split decision. And famously, he's the only person to have beaten John Jones. Fair enough, it was a DQ, but he's got that win, you know. He was coming off a 2-fight losing streak, losing to Rampage Jackson and Alexander Gustafsson. He's fighting Vladimir Matyushenko, who's coming off a loss to Alexander Gustafsson. But before that, he's only 2 losses in the UFC are to Gustafsson and John Jones. He's beaten Papa Jack. He's beaten Elliot Marshall, Jason Brills, and some random Brazilian dude. He's 26 and 6. The only guys he's ever lost to have actually been pretty decent fighters, which are John Jones, Gustafsson, Andrei Arlovski, Tito Ortiz, and back in the day, 1999, Vernon Tiger White, who was actually a pretty decent fighter back in the day. I'm going to pick Vladimir Matyushenko to win. The next fight, which originally was the co-main event of the evening, you got Michael Bisping versus Brian Stann. I pray to Jesus that Michael Bisping gets knocked out. It would be fantastic, so he can stop running his fucking mouth about how I would have taken the fight against Anderson, against Chael Sonnen, and this, that, and the other, and I would have done this, I would have done that. You're not even in the same weight class. You would have done fuck all. And then you got Brian Stann, who really doesn't really have much wrestling. He doesn't really have too many good submissions, considering he got submitted by Chael Sonnen, but he does have devastating hands. He has super knockout power, and he has beaten some pretty good competition in the UFC. You know, Jorge Santiago, Chris Lieben, Alessio Sakara. You know, his only losses in the UFC are to, which is his first ever, his only fight at light heavyweight. I know he had a couple of fights at light heavyweight, I believe. He lost to Krzysztof Szynski. That was his first fight in the UFC back like 4 years ago, which doesn't really say a lot. And then he lost to Phil Davis. That was still at 205, which Phil Davis was huge, so much bigger than him, and Chael Sonnen, obviously. But other than that, he has beaten some pretty top tier competition. Michael Bisping, last time out, as we all know, lost to Chael Sonnen. Before that, beat some mediocre guys, Akiyama, Dan Miller, Mayhem, Jorge Rivera. His biggest win on his ledger is, I would probably say, Chris Lieben, you know, which doesn't really say much. I do think he's a little bit of an overrated fighter. I'm picking Brian Stann to win, but I've got to be real honest. It wouldn't surprise me if Michael Bisping uses his wrestling, gets Brian Stann down, and just kind of keeps it keeps it down at that bit there, just keeps it on the ground and kind of does a bit of ground and pounding, maybe tries to work for a submission or something. But I'm picking Brian Stann, hopefully, to knock Michael Bisping out. The co-main event of the evening, formerly the main event of the evening, is the inaugural flyweight championship bout between Joseph Benavidez and Demetrius Mighty Mouse Johnson. Benavidez has only ever had one fight at flyweight, and he beat Yoshihiro Yoshitani, who's a pretty decent flyweight, ranked in top 10. TKO'd him. Then you got obviously Demetrius Johnson had his 2 fights with Ian McCall. I'm picking Benavidez. I think he's the faster of the 2. He's got the heavier hands of the 2 and the better wrestling of the 2. I just think overall he's the better fighter. I'm picking this to go down pretty quick. I don't see this going 5 rounds. I see this probably ending in maybe the 3rd, maybe 4th round. The next fight, main event of the evening, what we're all waiting for, is Jon Jones versus Vitor Belfort for the light heavyweight championship of the world. This is going to be pretty quick. Jon Jones is going to win first round. Vitor Belfort, the only thing he's really got to offer, if we're going to be honest, is his speed with his hands and his heaviness of his hands. Jon Jones is most likely, if he doesn't knock him out on the feet, he'll probably drag it to the ground and pound him. That's pretty much it. I mean, yeah, it'd be fucking awesome if Vitor Belfort was to beat Jon Jones with all the shit that's gone on, but that's not really going to happen, is it? It's just not going to happen. So that's my pick, Jon Jones. This is going down on the 22nd of September, so it's about a week and a half away. Then after that we got the Fuel event, which is going on in the UK, in Nottingham. That's on the 29th. That's a pretty decent card. I will probably stick my predictions up for that maybe next week or the week after. So that's pretty much it, guys. Until then, 22nd of September, enjoy the fights. Bye.